I mean, in life, the family is a very big deal for the soul. Where the soul lands and the kind of family it has a tremendous effect on the soul and its happiness and its flourishing in real life. There is a good parent and a bad parent. Okay. The Bibles don't understand that. The Bibles want us to honor thy father and mother, no matter who they are, no matter what their behavior is. You have to honor your father and honor your mother. These are very bad teachings because sometimes we have a bad parent. We have a bad father. We have a bad mother that frustrate our soul, that makes us sick, that makes us unhappy, sometimes even suicidal. Bad families are so common in humanity that a good parent is very difficult to find. A good parent is a parent that is very sensitive to the well-being of the child, the soul well-being of the child, how that child grows and helps the child grow in the child's happiness, the child's dreams, and the child's ambitions, which means the child is respected. Whatever the child wants out of life, the parent is an assistant to those dreams. Those are the best kind of parents. The parents who listen to the child, who take the, the feelings of the child very much at heart. They work with the child to make the child happy in exchange for nothing. It's for free. They just enjoy their child happy. Whether the child comes back to them or not is not of consequence. That's really good parenthood. The parent that expects everything from the child, right? That treats the child like some kind of soldier that has to obey orders all the time, who has no sense of the happiness of the child, which means it has to be in tune to what the child actually, feels good about. What kind of toys does it like? What kind of outings does it like? What does it want to do in life? How do you discover what it wants to do? All this kind of. A bad parent is concerned about their plan for the child. What is a bad parent? A bad parent is a parent that is insensitive to the child's sentiments. The child is extremely sensitive to the parent because it needs the parent as a tutor, as a support to grow in real life. The child has to hang on to something because the child is weak and the child is stupid. And it knows that it's stupid and it has to learn a lot of things to be in this world. It has to learn how to walk, how to talk, how to grow, what this world's about, what is money, what is evil, what is good. The child doesn't know anything, so it hangs on to a parent as a tutor to get good in the child, to get good in this world. But if a parent is insensitive to the child just dries up. A child needs a lot of attention, a lot of animation. The mother or the father has to be with that child all the time. Uh, Parents that don't have any time for a child should not make a child. A child requires a lot of time. All right. If a person is busy, building a big business somewhere or having a gigantic career in Hollywood, they don't have time for the child. They usually give a child to a nanny because they don't have any time for the child, and the child does not develop a strong bond with the parent. We have films where the old ways is for a man to ask for the hand of a woman by asking the parent permission, right, to marry the daughter. And that is outrageous because the child does not belong to the parent. The child is not a property of the parent. The child belongs to itself. Our soul belongs to itself. We are the masters of our own life. We are not owned by anybody. We're not owned by parents and we're not owned by government either. Both are there as assistant to our happiness. This is not the creed of this world. When a parent says to a child, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be a lawyer, I want you to go to a law school, a doctor school, and the child doesn't want to because that's not its soul. Every soul is different, and every soul feels attracted to different kinds of careers or desires. Some souls want to be an artist. Some souls want to be an actor. Some souls want to travel the world. Some souls want to look for the truth and, want to find the truth in religion or in philosophy. That's the inclination of that child. So a good parent will honor that child in order to be honored by the child, which means the honor for the parent comes after the parent honors the child. If a parent forces a child to marry somebody, that is a serious violence to the child. The child has to be in love, in real, have a real bond, as a man, woman, or couple, right? And if the parent doesn't respect that child and forces the child to marry somebody that the child dislikes, that is a serious transgression of soul well-being. Right? There's a lot of parents like that. Parents who feel that they own the child. How many fathers feel like they can give away their daughter for marriage, or they need permission for their daughters to be married? That is not a good parent, because the father is not the owner of the daughter. The daughter is an owner of herself, and she has to determine what is good for her, what she likes, and what she doesn't like. And if she's not allowed to do that, her soul will tank. Life is very difficult on this planet. These are not facts that are written in the Bible much, but life is very difficult. There's a lot of efforts just to survive. And often a child is made, right, when there's no money for the family or the child. So often the child is a burden to the family. Sometimes an unwanted pregnancy brings a serious burden to the mother and father, and the child is treated like some kind of curse, okay? So that child has to rebel against that family. That child cannot bond you cannot bond with a father or mother who thinks you're a burden. You have to learn how to get detached from that family and find even foreigners or outsiders to bond with who can like you for who you are. When a child feels obliged to love or bond with their mother and their father, who they feel is not good for them, the child can turn into a serious suffering. There's a lot of depression in humanity, especially in adolescence, because often the family is not such a good family. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of misery. There's a lot of horrors in the household, and that affects the child and their growth, and even their sexual development can get twisted because of that depression. Right? I believe that a lot of the gay events in humanity have to do with a really difficult family, not very good parents. It can, not always, but can produce gayness in the soul. The family is not God. The family is simply the way we come into this world. And the family is supposed to help us flourish in this world, not flourish itself. We're not born to flourish a family, which means we're not born to flourish the desires of a mother or a father. We're not here to please mom and dad. We're here to please ourselves and grow ourselves with what we have as a soul, right? And if our mother and father does not respect our desires for growth, then these are not good parents. And therefore, there has to be a sense of detachment from a bad family. In fact, a lot of souls need to be detached from their family because their family is a cancer in their life. So where is this honor thy father and mother? This is a Bible that is stupid to life. If you tell a soul or a child to honor their father and mother without condition, unconditionally, right? This is a not making a service, not rendering a service to the soul at all. The soul has to honor the good parent. It cannot honor the bad parent. It has to protect itself against the bad parent. These are life values. These are not biblical values. Bad parenthood is such a force in the soul's life that it can cripple a soul for a lifetime. The kind of pains we carry because of our parents, good parents or bad parents, but mostly bad parents, because this is the age of bad parenthood. It's very, very rare that you have a parent who actually wants the child to grow in its own happiness and its own dreams and its own ambitions. That kind of parent, the child will love. There's a natural, very powerful love for a parent who actually, helps you grow. Usually the parents we have don't help us grow. They impose so many conditions and so many rules upon us that we can't grow. It's like we grow to please them. We're always rewarded when we please them, and when we don't please them, they punish us all the time. So the child grows into a depressive adolescent, which can last an entire lifetime. Our lives does not belong to our family. We are not sheep and we are not cows. We are our own self, and we can decide what is it that we want to do with our life. The life we have, it belongs to us. It doesn't belong to the family. We never asked to be born, okay? So they don't own us, right? We own ourselves, and they have to respect our life. The child has to be respected. The sentiments, the desires, the ambitions, the career ambitions, the romantic ambitions, the sexual ambitions of the child have to be respected by the parent. Or they're just a Nazi. Basically, so many of us are born to a kind of Nazi family who determines what we want to do, what we're going to do with our lives or not. This is the kind of age this is. And the Bibles and the paths of truths have not helped in any way, because the soul doesn't have a value in our society. The human heart has a value. That is a very different set of values. It's very natural for the soul to love somebody who helps it grow, and it's natural for the soul to develop contempt, hatred, or protection against somebody who is not allowing the soul to grow. If we can hate a bad teacher in school, who strangles us all the time, who punishes us all the time, we can grow to have contempt for a bad parent as well and protect ourselves from a bad parent. The family is not God. We are God. There is this sense in humanity, my father died, my mother died. I have nothing. I have nobody. I'm alone. You're never alone. You have yourself. Your soul is your greatest treasure. The soul is powerful. The soul is strong. The soul is smart. And the soul is able to reconnect sometimes with total strangers, with bonds that are sometimes and often greater than parental bonds. So we need a new set of values. In conclusion, the value that the soul well-being, our soul well-being, comes before all other things. When our soul is doing well, we can help other souls. When our soul is doing badly, we cannot help other souls because we're depressed. That help is all crippled and crooked. So we need a civilization that prizes our own soul well-being, and all the agents in our society must serve the soul well-being, including the family and the government.